successful. I'm already a 2 or a 5 or a 10-star diamond. I missed our own diamond discovery trip. We don't want you to worry about that. We've got something special for you that's coming, but we're not going to tell you today. We're not going to tell you tomorrow or next week. We'll tell you soon.
Last but very important announcement. This week we launched the USANA Entrepreneurial Milestone. We also call that the UEM for short, because that's a little bit of a mouthful, as you just saw. You might have seen the snazzy new jackets.
Yeah, very snazzy.
Very snazzy. Snazzy is a really good word. So this program is really great at recognizing consistent mentorship, hard work, and lasting achievement. And to qualify, a brand partner must reach 1 million commission points and be an active, strong advocate for Dr. Wenzel's vision to create the healthiest family on earth.
Yeah, I really want to thank Vivian Liel, our executive advisor. Yesterday, we celebrated our first 500 UEMs. There were 500, and with all of those new UEMs, can I ask them please to stand? Would you please all stand so we can see you? All of the to reach that level and what it means to become the UEM. And once again, Devon, by chance, has the microphone and has found someone.
Good thing I kept it in my pocket, isn't it? Devon on the road. I'm here with 1-star diamond directors James Tan and Susan Lin. Malaysia. It's important for brand partners to set long-term goals, like qualifying for UEM.
I think it's pretty simple. And USANA as such an amazing company that produces great products, but it's a lifetime business opportunity. It's life-changing. And if it's such a great opportunity, the ultimate goal must be UEM. And especially with the new plan, I would say can happen faster now and be unstoppable. And let my wife tell you all more.
For us, this is more than an achievement. It shows that we have created a life, a purposeful life. Besides that, we realize that it shows that we are growing, growing not only as entrepreneurs, but as people, brand partners, and leaders. So, as we all share the same goal, we are unstoppable. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and again, congratulations to all of our UEM members. We did tell you we were going to go fast. We were going to get through a lot of information today, but ultimately it all comes down to an elevated opportunity. We are so excited to deliver this to you this year. We have an elevated opportunity, incredible products, a relevant brand story, and the tools to make the most of it. If you do want more information about our compensation plan and tools we talked about today, the Elevate You booth at the USANA Expo has you covered. And for those of you who are eligible for leadership bonus, you can actually stop by there this week and get a personalized leadership roadmap and help to really make the most of that bonus.
So on behalf of Devon, Amy, and myself, and the entire USANA team, I want to thank you for your trust. Thank you for your leadership. And as Brett talked about today, thank you for your partnership. Transformation is not always easy, but the results are always worth the effort. We want to thank you for embracing this opportunity. We are truly grateful for your fantastic partnership and share and celebrate every success with you. And whether you're a new brand partner or a long-term leader in this room, know that we as a group, that we are inspired by your commitment to the USANA vision, and we are dedicated to being the greatest direct selling company in the world with you. Thank you.
From uncertain health to unstoppable growth, witness the 15-year journey of turning belief into action, building a global team with an impressive system of duplication, powered by love. Here is 5-star Diamond Director from the United States, UK Lear.
我是刘玉萍，来自纽约。今天非常荣幸站在这里和大家分享我经营USANA的收获和经验。我原本不生意，但做了很多年以后，我越来越感受到这种高度依赖人力、现金流、场地的经营模式带来的不仅是风险，还有巨大的经济压力。我不想再被困在那种忙的循环里，我想停下来，认真看看方向对不对。也我放下了国内的生意，多年传统生意的经历造就了我自由，有着非常敏锐的判断。当我开始关注如何更科学地维持健康时，我遇见了USANA。我试过市面上各种保健品，但没有一个让我印象深刻。直到遇到USANA，一个让我亲身感受到效果的产品，也让我看到了一个巨大的商机。那时我在美国刚落脚，身边只有2个朋友。但我依然开始决定经营USANA，为什么？因为我看懂了一个商业趋势，全世界的商家都想锁定消费者，但实际上，消费者是最忠诚的另类群人。今天买这，明天换那，但USANA用科学、用品质、用系统、用信任，真正的锁定了我，所以我相信。他也一定能够锁定更多像我一样正在寻找高品质生活方式的千万人。从那一刻开始，我放弃了重返传统行业的念头，坚定地走上了健康产业这条路。在这条路上，我慢慢体会到一个非常真实的力量。这不只是让我们家人受益的产品，更是一条可以让我们走上健康与自由的道路。我们不是推销产品，我们是在带动一场人人参与的健康运动。我们帮助消费者更明智地做选择，少走弯路。更重要的是，每一个消费者都有机会参与和分享这份事业，在分享中就可能获得回报。边用边学。边学边分享，在这里你可以照顾好自己，也可以帮助无数人维持身体健康，拥有选择生活方式的自由。这是一份值得我们用一生去深耕、去复制的事业。但是我一开始其实和大多数人一样，我什么都没有，我没有经验，没有资源，没有团队，甚至我连人没有，但我依然决定做。我告诉我自己，没经验我可以学，没时间我可以挤，没资源我可以去找，没有团队没关系，我可以自己一点一滴建立起来，星星之火也可以燎原。说实话， USANA 相比传统生意真的是太简单了。选择这份事业是跟世界顶级的细胞营养品公司合作，我们不需要研发，也不需要生产，也不需要处理物流、仓储、财务，更不需要请员工，只需要自己先用产品变得更健康，然后把信息、知识和服务分享出去的事业。刚开始，我和很多人一样，参加了很多培训，学习很多方法，但我也发现，很多方法虽然有用，但却不一定适合我。直到有一天，我的先生对我说了一句话，他说：“你赚再多钱，我也不会快乐。你这样做，我不会快乐，你的团队也不会快乐。”大家都不快乐，你觉得这个事业你能长久复制下去吗？那一刻，我沉默了。我明白了，他反对的不是我做USANA，而是提醒我有些方法虽然有效，但不一定适合我长期坚持。每个人都有自己的节奏，我必须找到一条适合我自己的方式。多年来，不管我身在何处，我每一年都会参加年会，从来没有缺席。因为USANA事业最成功的、最重要的2个点：第一，尽量保持自动订货；第二，一定要每一年参加年会。这场年会对于我来说更是意义非凡。USANA， 有人喜欢讲电话、分享产品、经营事业。在这个事业中，我学到了很多优秀的方法，一开始也不断的模仿、尝试，但后来我明白，关键不是学多少，而是找出适合自己的方法，坚持下去。这个事业就像爬楼梯，一步一步往上走。刚开始是1对1带人，后来走到一定阶段，就有了小范围的培训，然后就搭起系统化的培训。不是一开始就要做大事儿，而是走到哪里就做哪里的事儿，顺势而为，踏实前行，一切水到渠成。越来越有趣，有人擅长讲课，有人热爱做图，有人爱开直播，有人喜欢语音，的陪伴。我们没有固定的模板，只有无限可能。复制从来不难，难的是不开始。现在的复制不是靠个人苦拼，而是由公司课程、团队活动、客户见证、专业工具、系统加生活化的表达，让分享变得简单又快乐。复制的不是话术，也不是套路，复制的是一种愿意开始的思维，一种每个人都能做到的习惯。在我的团队里，每一位经营者一开始就被定位成团队最高领导人。我们不等一切准备好才会慢慢准备好，我们降低期望值，提升目标感，锻炼行动力，用边做边学边教的方式实现匀速成长。我们培养的是3种责任感：领袖的责任感、推荐人的责任感、会员服务客户的责任感。这就是在USANA持续复制与成长过程，一个更独立也更强大，塑造出来越来越多可以独当一面的领袖。我最喜欢看的画面是，我问伙伴需要我帮忙吗？他们微笑地说不用啦，我们可以自己完成。这不是逞强，而是一种担当，一种对事业的信任，对团队的责任，对成长的承诺。我们团队里有宝妈，一边带娃一边做事业， 现在他先生开了自己的中医诊所，还特意给他留了一间USANA的办公室，希望未来把中医营养相结合。也算是我是姐姐，刚开始连智能手机都不会，现在会剪影片、做 PPT、开工作室，快乐的这个USANA，我从来不把它当汽水看。伙伴，因为他从不设限，从未停步。还有我们90后的、00后的团队成员，他们熟悉 AI， 把分享做得既高效又有创意，传播力十足。每一个人都有自己的优势，只要愿意成长，就一定有舞台。我是70后，我们这一代人见证了从传真机到智能手机的变化，但是我们没有被时代甩在后面，因为我们有一个共同的信念：成长永不停止。我为我的团队取名 You Love Team， 灵感来自于 I Love New York。就像纽约这座城市，我的团队开放、多元、有活力，每个人都能在自己的节奏里自由成长、自由分享，活出属于自己的势不可挡。说到势不可挡，我特别想说说今年公司推出的全新奖励制度，它更精准、更系统，不靠有没有动力，而是帮助我们自动拥有目标，自动进入行动。我相信这套制度一定会唤醒更多沉睡的潜力，复制出更多有责任、有目标、有影响力的领袖。愿我们一起走在健康与自由的路上，复制希望，复制成长，复制影响力。我们一起势不可挡。
From music major to nephrology nurse, she's now an unstoppable force in USANA. The superpower girl with a vision that never quits, pushing through exhaustion and turning belief into reality. Asia Pacific sales leader and winner of the Dennis Waitley Leadership Award for Business Excellence. One-star diamond director, Chong Yon-ji.
네, 안녕하세요. 유산아 가족 여러분. 네, 한국에서 온 이그제큐티브 원스타 다이아몬드 디렉터이자 슈퍼 파워걸 장영희입니다. 네, 처음 들으면 조금 낯설게 느껴지시죠? 제가 왜 이렇게 스스로에게 이런 애칭을 붙였을까요? 바로 멈추지 않는 열정과 에너지로 부단히 노력하고 싶었기 때문입니다. 생각하는 대로 살지 않으면 사는 대로 생각하게 된다는 말이 있습니다. 제 애칭처럼 되길 바라면서 더 치열하게 달렸습니다. 그리고 오늘 제가 이 무대에 서 있다는 사실이 저 자신에게 정말 오늘 제 키노트 돌이켜보면 딱 10년 전 2015년 글로벌 컨벤션이었던 것 같아요. 그때 언제나 저 무대에 서 있는 저 무대처럼 되고 싶다는 그런 마음을 막연하게 아마 가졌었는데요. 그 후로 매년 단 한 번도 빠짐없이 13번의 글로벌 및 아시아 퍼시픽 컨벤션에 참석했고 10년이 지난 오늘 저는 그 무대 위에서 여러분과 이 순간을 함께하고 있습니다. 네, 물론 제가 이 자리에 오기까지 모든 것이 쉬운 것은 아니었습니다. 저는 음악을 전공했지만 가족의 건강 문제로 간호사가 되었습니다. 유산아의 비전을 본 이후에도 골드디렉터 시절까지는 퇴근 후에는 주식
2시간 넘게 운전해서 세미나에 참석했습니다. 당시에는 파트너가 2~3명밖에 되지 않았기 때문에 새벽까지 함께 이야기하면서 또 열정적인 의지를 불태우고 차 안에서 한 2시간, 3시간 정도 눈을 붙인 뒤에 다시 병원에 출근하는 날들이 이어졌죠. 그래서 이제 1년에 교통사고가 7번 날 만큼 정말 몸이 고단했는데요. 그때마다 많은 분들이 왜 그렇게까지 하냐고 물으셨던 기억이 있어요. 사실 유산을 처음 시작할 때는 어떤 비전이라기보다는 어머니를 위해서 시작했습니다. 저희 어머니는 2003년에 파킨슨병 진단을 받으셔서 약 부작용으로 척추가 휘고 또 수술 후에도 거동이 쉽지 않으셨거든요. 그래서 처음에는 유산화 제품이 좋다고 하니 어머니 꾸준히 챙겨드리자는 마음으로 시작하게 된 거였죠. 하지만 아무래도 간호사다 보니까 병원이나 약국에서 제품들을 접하면서 이런 생각이 들었습니다. 정말 제품에 자신이 있다면 약국이나 병원에 입점해도 되지 왜 하필 직접 그 마인드셋이 180도로 바뀐 순간이 바로 2015년 그런 컨벤션. 그때 마르츠 박사님은 제가 품고 있던 비전에 하는 건강 식품만 제품을 전달하는 것에 그치지 않고 회사가 가진 가치와 철학을 어떻게 전할 수 있을지 고민한 결과 저는 직접 판매를 하는 방법을 선택했습니다. 그래서 제가 근무했던 병원은 환자 수익이라는 현실적인 목적도 함께 고려해야 하는 곳이기 때문에 정말 이게 이분들한테 정말 최선일까? 라는 생각을 했었거든요. 그래서 오히려 마이클스 박사님의 말씀이 정말 진정성 있게 느껴지면서 기업에 대한 비전을 봤던 것 같아요. 유산을 다시 본격적으로 사업을 시작한 지 얼마 되지 않아서 2017년에 골든트렌드 자격 패밀리에 참여하게 되었습니다. 저는 휠체어 이제 함께 그 여행을 우리 유산한 코리아 직원분들이 정말 따뜻하게 어머니를 맞아주시고 또 휠체어를 밀어주고 그랬던 모습. 엄마가 정말 웃는 모습을 너무 행복해서 웃는 모습을 보면서 유산하길 정말 잘했다. 그런 또 생각이 들더라고요. 저희 엄마에게 또 변화가 있었는데요. 여행 중에 만난 많은 변화를 나누는 걸 들으시고는 더 여러 제품도 꾸준히 챙겨 드시고 생활 습관도 하나씩 갖고 나가셨습니다. 그렇게 1년 뒤에 열린 또 다른 패밀리 인센티브에는 휠체어 없이 두발로 직접 해돋이를 보러 올라가셨습니다. 네, 파킨슨병 진단을 받은 지 지금 20년이 지났는데 지금도 저희 어머니는 건강하게 일상을 유지하고 계십니다. 유산화에 대한 감동과 감사는 다른 사람도 이런 변화를 느껴봤으면 좋겠다라는 마음으로 이어졌습니다. 그래서 제가 무엇을 해볼 수 있는가 고민을 하다가 다다른 결론은 바로 제가 유산화 코리아를 위해서 봉사하는 것입니다. 가장 먼저 사무실 문을 열고 또 가장 늦게 문을 닫고 저의 일상이었고요. 당연히 정말 중요한 일이 아니었어요. 유산화 누군가의 또 파트너, 스폰서로서 혼자가 있는 시스템에 늘 참석했고요. 또 그렇게 한 해 주의 시간이 흐르고 나서 제 비즈니스를 10년 중에서 9년을 봉사하게 됐습니다. 할수록 저는 정말 행복하고 제가 왜 유산화를 하는지 늘 되새길 수 있었습니다. 제가 좋아하는 일을 해서 것이 나다워지는 일이었고 이 과정에서 저도 더 그런 시간들이 쌓이면서 자연스럽게 앞으로 유산화에 대한 어떤 방향으로 나아갈 질문이 저 스스로에게 생겼습니다. 이런 질문에 대한 답을 찾아 나섰던 곳이 바로 유산화 파운데이션이었던 필리핀 마다파스코아 섬에서의 봉사였습니다. 필리핀 마다파스코아 섬에 처음 도착했을 때는 큰 충격을 받았습니다. 겉보기에는 아름다운 명소였지만 주민들의 삶은 전혀 달랐습니다. 관광 수입에 의존하는 마을이라서 요즘 같은 시대에도 고기를 못 잡으면 하루를 굶어야 하는 가정들도 있었습니다. 그런 마을에 가든타워 하나를 세우면 가족이 10년을 자립할 수 있다는 이야기를 듣고 무더운 땡볕에도 흙을 나르고 또 식물을 심으면서 함께 100개 가까운 타워를 만들었습니다. 한 마을에 1000년이라는 미래를 함께 만들어가는 일이었습니다. 네, 함께 또 땀을 흘리면서 우리의 비전이 세상에서 가장 건강한 가족을 만들고 있다는 사실에 정말 마음이 뜨거워지면서 에 대한 답을 찾습니다. 바로 승격 도전이었습니다. 요즘 전 세계적으로 어렵지만 유산화는 되는 일이다. 나부터 보여주자는 마음으로 이그제큐티브 원스타 다이아몬드 디렉터에 이어서 2024년 코리아 그로스 넘버 1을 달성하며 글로벌 엘리트 이야기를 나눌 기회가 있었는데요. 저에게 이렇게 물으시더라고요. 잠비아 여행을 위해서 생각하신 건가요? 아니면 도전하다 보니 잠비아까지 달성하신 건가요? 그때 제가 이렇게 말씀드렸던 것 같아요. 근데 저는 오늘 제가 여러분들 목적지가 아니라 방향과 비전이 중요하기 때문에 비전을 향해 나아가다 보니 이 자리에 있게 됐다고요. 유산화는 되는 일이니까요. 그리고 유산화는 나의 이를 보여주고 싶었습니다. 잠자던 파트너들을 깨우고 곳곳을 사람들을 만나서 유산화를 전하다 보니 감사하게도 이 자리에 올 수 있었습니다. 10년을 돌아보면 늘 좋은 일만 있진 않아요. 풀리지 않을 때마다 저는 늘 자신부터 나의 태도는 괜찮은가? 마음과 갖췄는가? 그렇게 제 스스로를 바꾸며 멈추지 않고 앞으로 나아갔습니다. 누가 시켜서가 아니라 유산화는 되는 일이고 유산화는 바로 나의 일이니까요. 그래서 저는 지금도 제 파트너들에게 이렇게 이야기합니다. 유산화는 하우보다 Y가 중요한 비즈니스라고요. 그래서 여기 계신 여러분들께도 이 말씀을 꼭 드리고 싶습니다. 행동 없는 비전은 단지 꿈일 뿐이다. 비전 없는 행동은 그저 시간을 보내는 것이다. 하지만 행동하는 비전은 세상을 바꾼다. 네. 저는 다시 달릴 준비를 합니다. 왜냐하면 저는 제 안의 이유로 움직이는 멈추지 않는 슈퍼 파워걸이니까요. 여기 함께 계신 여러분들도 분명 누군가에게는 이미 비전이실 겁니다. 하지만 여러분이 아직 마음속의 비전을 행동으로 증명할 때 여러분 그리고 여러분의 파트너 더 나아가 우리 유산화 모두의 성장이 시작된다고 생각합니다. 지금 이 순간에도 자신만의 하고 계신 모든 유산화 가족 여러분들을 진심으로 응원하고 사랑합니다. 감사합니다. Stand and stretch. Field Manager Maggie Chung.
And move together. Toca las 12, ¿no? Pero no hay que ni las ahora, ¿no? La cortina también muy rica.
Sean Kim, and Executive Vice President of Market Development for the Americas, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, Shane Price.
Yes. All right, so let's fuel that unstoppable drive and cruise into one of the most important questions in our business. And that is, how can you accelerate growth?
Yeah. But real magic happens.
That's right. The reason for that is because now you're both on the same road. And here's the thing, it's never been easier or more accessible to get started, right? Are low. Many of the direct selling businesses, there's no giant pack required to start. Low risk. And starting with your very first product sale, you earn right away.
Yep. But it's not just low risk or simple math. This is about changing lives through mentorship, growth, and partnership. As Brent talked about in this session, referring to you as a distributor or associate does not drive business building behaviors, but Brent partners. Now that fires all cylinders, right?
Yes, love that. Because that's what we are. We're partners. We're partners in this big, beautiful business. And we've built trust with one another, and together we must grow and enroll with belief, purpose, and clarity.
Yeah, today we're going to hear from 6 incredible brand partners who are doing just that. And they are just growing business, they're growing people.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? They've turned consistent action into incredible momentum, and really have that unstoppable drive. Are you ready to meet them?
Yes. First up, Executive 7-star Diamond Director from China, Lin Swing-Zi.
Emerald Director from Korea, Young Ran Park.
From Malaysia, 1-star Diamond Director, James Tan.
Ruby Director from New Zealand, Lisa Lee.
From the Philippines, Executive 2-star Diamond Director, Ryan Tan.
And Diamond Director from the United States, Chun Wen Chen.
Thank you all for joining us. Let's see the guests in this discussion. First question goes to Nyad 사장님. What does unstoppable drive mean to you?
저의 추진력의 원동력은요, 나를 믿고 유산을 선택한 파트너님들에 대한 책임감이 저는 가장 큰 원동력인데요. 그분들과 함께 유산화 안에서 멋진 삶을 만들고 싶은 간절함이 제 추진력의 원동력입니다. 저는 성장이 더딘 파트너님들을 볼 때 걱정만 하기보다는 제가 도와드릴 부분을 끊임없이 고민하고 도움될 방법을 찾습니다. 예를 들어서요, 어느 때는 파트너님이 잠재 고객에게 제가 드리기도 하고요. 제가 파트너님의 잠재 고객 입장에서 어느 때는 역할극을 해드리면서 제가 미팅을 사전에 준비하기도 합니다.
And how do you keep finding that motivation?
예. 저는 작은 포기도 하지 않습니다. 걱정을 하기보다는 끊임없이 방법을 찾는 제 멈추지 않는 노력이 결과 제가 21년도에 유산화로 전업하고 감사하게도 4년 연속 코리아 리더십 서밋 자격까지 4년 연속 달성하게 되었습니다. 그리고 저는 전업 당시에 실버 직급으로 시작했지만 전업한 지 불과 4년 만에 또 에메랄드 디렉터라는 직급까지 달성하게 되었습니다. 예, 감사합니다. 제 스스로의 이런 성장도, 개인적인 성장도 물론 기뻤지만요. 이보다 더 기뻤던 것은 많은 파트너님들과 동반 성장했다는 겁니다. 이번 컨벤션에서도 저 이외에 8분의 파트너님이 레코니션 무대에 함께 오르게 되었습니다. 이렇게 유산한 비즈니스는요, 빨리 성장하는 것보다 함께 성장하는 게 더 중요한 비즈니스라고 저는 생각합니다.
That is so cool. I just love that you're so focused on building as a team. Wanshi, how about you? How has the unstoppable drive helped you in your USANA journey?
我呢，1988年出生，在23岁的时候我就进入了USANA，到至今为止已经有14年的时间。在进入USANA之前，我是一名幼师，每个月的收入只有2000元钱，没有人脉，没有能力，没有背景，势不可挡的动力对我来说，可以是一种必胜的信念。虽然我什么都没有，并不是那只绩优股，但是我把我自己当做一只潜力股，这只潜力股一定会不断的向上升，未来能涨多高，谁也无法预测。当我真正开始这份事业的时候，我面对一个非常陌生的市场，我不断的去提升自己，我知道改变是激励自我和吸引他人最佳的方式。在这样一个陌生的市场当中，我没有人脉，但是我告诉自己，我可以不断的去提升自己的沟通能力，去拓展人脉。我是没有背景和能力，但是这让我恰恰有更大的动力去改变现状。我是没有能力，但是USANA正是一个能够帮助我提升全方位能力的道场。在这样一个势不可挡的动力之下，我也在加入USANA5个半月的时间就成为了黄金董事，高级7星钻石。在我的市场当中，也已经产生了19位的钻石和星钻，100多位的黄金董事以上级别的领袖。我很想说，家人们，势不可挡的动力对我们来说，它从来不是一种这样的一个趋势之下，让我们彼此成为彼此的光，让我们一起加油！谢谢。
加油 I love how you said success doesn't begin the moment you join. It begins the moment you choose to full commitment. That's a great advice.
And it is. Now, Ryan, what advice would you give to brand partners who are struggling to make those choices or maybe feel stuck in growing their business right now?
So for me, Jeannie, every time I find myself stuck in the business, consciously I really look for a business mentor. And as I work with that mentor, I try to imbibe a yes mentor attitude. So when I was starting in USANA, I committed to doing whatever my upline told me to do. So I remember when I was asked to attend numerous trainings, that's what I did. So when my upline told me to hit $100, even if when I found it difficult, I really pushed for that goal. And even when I was asked to train my whole team and I felt I wasn't really ready yet, I did train my team. So it's important when you feel you're not ready or when you feel you're wanting to quit, just always say yes to whatever your business mentor tells you to a business. So I also just want to share that in USANA. I apply it in new hobbies of mine outside. So I've gotten into swimming like 2 years ago and I never had any idea how to swim properly. Same principle. So when my coach tells me to swim at 6 a.m. do 20 laps, that's what I do. And now I've gotten a bit good at swimming. So if you do that same, if you apply that same attitude in USANA, you're gonna go really, really far.
Yeah, that is just really cool. And if someone in your downline came to you today, okay, what would you tell them to do?
So I'm gonna tell them 2 things. So number 1 is to always be teachable. And the second part is more important, which is to always apply what you learn. So when I was starting, I felt I really wasn't cut out for USANA for a direct selling business. because I always was so introverted and socially awkward. But one thing about me is that every time I find myself in a difficult situation, I always ask myself, what do I need to learn from this? And what I've observed, a lot of people mindlessly try their hands on lots of stuff, but they neglect the part about learning and being able to adapt. So when I was starting, I didn't know how to prospect, but I was willing to learn how. I didn't know how to present, but I was willing to learn it and become good at it. So that willingness to learn things and having the discipline to apply your learnings every day will take you far in whatever field. So and going back to your question, Jamie, about unstoppable growth, one of my very first mentors in USANA taught me that USANA is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So unstoppable drive to me means two things. So first is having the long-term vision came in mind, which is to build the USANA business for the long haul. So that long-term vision to do this business is part of my lifestyle for the rest of my life. So the second thing about unstoppable drive comes in bursts. So that's when the urge and inspiration comes to rank advance and take the business to the next level. So whatever mode I'm in USANA, my drive to do the business is always there every day.
That's right, exactly. And Lisa, what about you?
Definitely. For me, it really comes down to consistency and connection. So every single day I make an effort to talk to someone, either following up with my customer or checking in with my teammates or talk to someone new. Because USANA is people first business, pushing product or being perfect. It is about showing up, about authentic, building trust. So our recent win is really stands out. That is how things shifted once we clear about is what USANA business truly is and why we're doing it. And after we align with what our purpose, the how become much easier. And then the results start flowing in. So here are the few things I would like to share with everyone, what we've been doing consistently. Finding the right people. So those who genuinely want to optimize their health and open to making changes. Using a soft, value-first approach. And then with the effective business guideline. Also we cover local dreams, supporting their program by offering free health assistance, meaningful conversation. That's helping people understand their body better. And then also we got a chance to ask quality questions, so understand what their goal is, so we can offer real support. We also work in third-party collaboration, like the credibilities, like the stories with Sydney South Rabbitoh, the Warriors, which is New Zealand, Australia, the top rugby league teams. They are famous. And also the individual elite athletes, their story for using USANA product, very powerful. So this building trust. And friends into family, big family like this today. And finally, we offering about beauty and other activities. Who doesn't want to be beautiful? Especially with other yourself. Who doesn't want to have a glowing skin? Everyone. Facials. So this is a natural way to introduce our product, so they can experience our skin strengthening a natural connection. It's personalized. So this is just the few actions we did. It's a build and the heart and the trust and strong belief. It is attract people, and in the rest like a relaxed environment, a giving value, and building trust. It's not about business growth or to be perfect, but it's really built in the root of the community with the care and wellness.
Thank you, Lisa. Those are actually great, tangible tips. Those are great. Thank you.
I hope everyone was taking notes.
One of the things that I love that you said is that you leverage, right, the partnerships that we have with our USANA athletes for sports, and knowing that they embrace USANA really drives that message home of confidence.
What advice do you have for long-term success in USANA?
Thank you, John. One piece of advice I have is ask for help. I always ask for help. Reach out to your uplines, your mentors, and local support team, whether it's from sales or marketing. They generally want to see you the team and company meetings, also activities, as learn and grow.
That's right. That's really great advice. And look at everybody that's here today making that amazing commitment. And attending events like this global convention is really a great way to meet peers from other markets and learn from everybody around the world. So thank you.
True. And how about your consistent action or habits that you adopt in your business?
Well, I believe in becoming unstoppable through learning and sharing. You see, USANA is a people-centered business. Experience are true. By consistently learning more to serve others better and sharing what I know, I've seen my business. It is the daily habit keeps successful people in any industry emphasize the importance of developing skills or habits, pursuing dreams. Persistence is crucial. On the right platform and until you achieve your goals. To me, unstoppable drive equates to persistence. 坚持.
That's awesome. Now that sounds just like you, Chun-Wen.
OK， 谢谢。是的，我们要先习，因为学呢是输出这两个动作，我们要不断的重复，只要好好坚持，就一定会成功。那坚持的内驱力是从哪里来呢？可以问自己，如果时间、健康和金钱都不是问题的时候，你最想做什么事儿呢？那么这件事情就可以成为你坚持的内驱力。
So Chuan, is that how you introduce USANA and unknown people?
OK， 好的。首先哈，我呢会了解清楚在客户的需求，再根据他们不同的需求介绍产品或者是机会。那么当这个客户事业感兴趣的时候，我就会用简单的语言来介绍公司的背景、全球的市场以及奖励计划。目的呢是让对方听懂，而且要让他知道这行不仅，而且他还能做，关注于提升签新品牌合伙人的成功率。透过我们更有效的沟通，让更多的人看懂这个机会，来愿意加入我们。第三呢，当有人加入以后，我会清楚的时候可以拿金。所以呢，我们跟进的动作一定要做的细致而且专业，因为我们不仅仅只是签人，我们更要帮助他不断的进步。 最后我是会紧密的协助每一位新的品牌合伙人，从他们加入一直到事业的发展阶段，都会紧密的结合。因为我们的目标不只是人数的增长，我们是要真正的培养出领导人和复制的系统。最后这个电影哪吒的导演饺子说过，出来混，首先要走出去，并且呢是带着我们的产品走出去。
好。Keeping product with you is a great habit to start.
Yeah, especially with some of those new products we have we can actually share. So those are some great and how do you feel about the new enhancements?
Well, the new enhancements are like a breath of fresh air. They make our business simpler and easier for new people to believe in. For me, it's about going back to the basics, but with stronger foundations. Now when I talk to my team or prospects, I can say confidently, the plan works. It's about helping more people win early, stay excited, and see progress quickly. That energy flows through the whole team, and that's how momentum begins.
Yeah, you're so right about that. Can you share some specific tips with us in terms of how you grow?
Well, I ask questions to understand what they really want in life. Then I share USANA as a real solutions, not just a business, but a platform for purpose, wellness, and freedom. I don't overwhelm them with facts. I use personal stories, my own or others, to show what is possible. When that somebody is ready, I keep it. Start products and share their journey. Most importantly, I let them know this one important thing. You're not doing this alone. I'm with you. The convention, let's all of us go home, live with heart, and help more people to believe again.
I love it. Thank you. Next week, what advice would you give to the fellow brand partners who are unsure how to grow their business right now?
关于这个问题，我有两个特别真心的建议要给到各位伙伴们。首先第一个，我特别想说，真正USANA事业的开始，并不是我们加入的那一刻，而是我们真正悟到的那一刻。大家认同吗？对，所以当我们真正要开始从事这个事业的时候，我们一定要让自己沉浸在这个环境里面，因为只有在USANA在环境里。人和会议才是我们真正的加油站和我们的疗愈站。当我们在环境里的时候，我们才能够让自己的能量是非常高的。也只有我们在高能量下，我们才能够真正感悟到USANA。第一点，第二点，我还特别想说，一定要投资自己，因为每个人的人生当中都会有一次投资回报率1000倍以上的机会，那就是投资自己。我们一定要不断的去投资自己和提升自己，因为USANA事业真正的成功，我想说，它并不是我们要上到多少娉位，而是我们一定要真正掌握真正在USANA事业成功的能力。所以，有的人可能会问我说：“你们，我告诉大家，预测未来最好的方式就是去创造未来，让我们一起加油，让我们顶峰相见。”谢谢。
What keeps you unstoppable? Has it changed over the time that you've been at USANA?
Yeah, differently. When I was start with USANA, I was simply fascinated with the product because I love product. It's both myself and my family and my friends had a great result. I fell in love with the product. And start building the personal experience and then the trust on that. But at the beginning, so when I want to share, I really hesitate. feel like people may thinking about trying to pushing product or sell them something. Friends, despite working for business opportunity. That changed during the pandemic. So I began helping people, helping my friends, just genuinely supporting them to buy their house or create a little bit extra income. And to my surprise, I feel so incredibly rewarding. It wasn't that wasn't for money at all. It just simply want to help people. And my why, what I did was, and it's no longer about personal result. It's about creating an impact, helping others achieve their goals, and building something meaningful together. That is keep me going when these things get me come.
Great. Well, how about you, Yuran? What keeps you going when things get rough?
사실 이건 제가 스스로 정체되었다고 느꼈을 때 스스로에게 자주 하는 질문이 있는데 멈출 거야 라는 질문을 스스로에게 자주 던지곤 합니다. 그때 그 해답은 노였습니다. 그럼 내가 멈출 게 아니라면 뭐든 해보자 하는 게 제 결론이었습니다. 그냥 가만히 앉아서 해결되는 건 아무것도 없더라고요. 움직이다 보면 당장 답이 보이지 않더라도 방향도 생기고 내 스스로의 동력도 붙습니다. 유산화 안에서 정답은 늘 행동하는 시간 속에 있었습니다. 여러분, 지금 뭘 해야 할지 다음 스텝을 모르신다면 당장 누구에게가 연락해서 만나는 것부터 시작해 보시길 바랍니다. 유산화 비즈니스는 단기적으로 힘으로 연결되는 비즈니스라는 것을 저는 알고 있기 때문에 여러분들이 끊임없이 움직이다 보면 저 또한 물론 여러분들까지 유산화 안에서 모두
That's great. Just get moving and just don't give up, right? And that's how you keep that unstoppable drive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all of you for sharing your knowledge, experience, and real-world strategy.
Yeah, we just really love the commitment as you are truly driving this business forward. Thank you all very much. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
All right.
Americans are talking about 64-year-old Diana Nyad.
Running more than 100 miles, Cuba to Key West.
First ever to do it. 53 hours, her dream finally come true after 5 tries.
And then one extraordinary people, and she is one of the ones that has inspired me the most.
Diana Nyad.
The part of Diana that people have to understand is why would somebody get that close to death? You know, what drives you to get that close to death? And I think that's really where Diana felt alive.
A new film called Nyad. It is based, of course, on the true story of marathon swimmer Diana Nyad.
The story is about the power of the human spirit.
After 36 years, she once again emerged from the sea.
Never give up.
With her inspiring story of becoming unstoppable, please welcome Diana Nyad.
I'm the type that doesn't like to look back. You know, I'm moving onward. I'm chasing this life as big as I can. But I will say that I don't mind looking at this footage every now and then because it doesn't matter how old I get, I will never look that bad again. That's a good thing. You know, from swimming now, but I still want to be that person. And that story is an epic story. It's a 35-year quest. I always want to be that person, no matter what I'm doing, day to day. And so the precepts of chasing that big dream are still part of my being, always will be to the day I die. First, chase a big dream. Don't. You guys are using that word unstoppable. Well, unstoppable must refer to something big. You don't need to be unstoppable for a meeting. Set your sights high. I don't know if you know the American poet Robert Browning, but he has a phrase that says, reach should seed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? The second thing I want to always remember is, and to quote another English poet, no man is an island. We all need our family, our friends. We never do anything alone, so what could be more lonely, right? What could be more of a solitary endeavor? 3 non-stop hours. You know, there's 51 hours this time. Mother Nature, too big. Mother Nature on steroids doesn't allow us to make the crossing. What about the 48 hours on this one, and we didn't make it across? What about all the training? Isn't preparation and training what all of success is about? So every day, swimming 12 hours one day, you're so tired that night, you're sleeping in this fetal position on the shower floor, you're so beat you can't even get up to eat dinner. But swim 14 hours, and all those hours, I'm alone. There's only one set of arms coming up, the left one and the right one, but right over here, right to my left, is my team. And never, ever, ever would I have reached that other shore without my team. And I want to always remember that. I can't do anything by myself. And the third thing is, the very first words I spoke on that beach, when finally after 35 years of trying this thing that the best swimmers in the world had been trying since 1950, nobody ever made it across. The first words I said were to that crowd screaming on the beach, tears in their eyes, because they wanted to be inspired for their own lives. I said, we, all of us, should never successful people in life, whether they're doctors or engineers or astronauts or athletes, musicians, they will tell you that, of course, you need talent, you need abilities, you need skills. Of course, you need that team, you know, that's in it with you. Of course, you need a little bit of good luck. You need some timing so that your event and your endeavors are going to come in conjunction with what's happening in the world. But more than anything, success is based on a refusal to quit, to be unstoppable. Yeah. Before I want to get started with sort of my whole life story. Yeah, you're going to have to sit there and listen to my whole life story. But first, I'm going to ask you a favor, because how often does it happen that your birthday in front of 6,000 wonderful, successful people? So, now that we're on the singing motif, I'm going to start you my story by playing you my song, and you'll understand. Get up! Don't sleep in. Get up with the dawn. Don't miss your life. And I was lucky because this ethic came into my life. You can sit down. This ethic came into my life when I was very young. I had a Greek father who was dramatic. No, dramatic's not the right word. Aristotle Zenith Nyad. Large. Every day was a climax of living life large for Aristotle Zenith Nyad. He was more than dramatic, he was histrionic. So, school in the morning, it's 3 a.m. He wakes us up with that thick accent of his, the buzzing Z's, the rolling R's. He says, kids, tears standing in his eyes, I have just been to the ocean. It is a Rembrandt painting. It will change your lives. Hurry up. We must go see it. I said, Dad, we have school in a few hours. We have to sleep. I am your father, no? I am here to teach you the lessons of life, no? Number one lesson of life, the most important lesson of our sleep is highly overrated. Get up. 20 minutes later, the whole family is walking on the ocean's edge. The amber light from our ankles out to forever. It was a Rembrandt painting. It changed our lives. Well, on my 5th birthday, my father called me into the den. Over here on the desk, he had opened Webster's big, fat, unabridged dictionary. His hands were resting on the pages again. And he said to me, Daddy, you are coming here. I have been waiting for this day, for you to turn 5. Because Daddy, today, I'm going to tell you the most important thing I will ever tell you. Come here, Daddy. Your name, my name, the name of my Greek people, it is here. It is in the bold black and white, the important book, the dictionary. Darling, you will go to your friends tomorrow at your little preschool. You will ask them, is your name in the dictionary? They will tell you no. Come here, darling. I'm going to read for you. Nyad. In Greek mythology, my people, the protect for the gods. Definition number 2, this is the modern definition. You, darling, girl or woman, champion, swimmer. Oh my God, this is your destiny, darling. I was only 5. It wasn't too long after that, elementary school, I had a geography teacher who was an ex-Olympic swimmer. And he said that any kid who came out for the swim team would get an A in geography. And I learned a lot of athletes start their careers this way. I was at the pool the next day. I was swimming up and down with all the kids. He wanted to see what he had. And he stood in this lane over here. And I stopped after about 15 minutes and he yelled down, hey kid, you. Yeah, you. What's your name again? I yelled up, Nyad. He said, Nyad? You're going to be the best swimmer in the world. If you want to work that hard. Well, it turns out I did want to work that hard. I started getting up at 4:30 in the morning, every morning, 365 days a year. I started doing 1,000 sit-ups every night, elbow to knee, every one. And at age 9, I was the best swimmer of my age group in the state of Florida. And at age 9, the Cuban Revolution broke. Overnight, in 24 hours, In my town, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, thousands of Cubans flooded in, and all of a sudden, we're eating Cuban food, we're dancing, flying the Cuban flag. We had a mistake about this suddenly forbidden island right off our coast. And at the age of 9, I stood on the beach there with my mother, who was French, and spoke in a thicker accent than my father. So as you understand, my childhood at home was very entertaining. And I said to Mom, Mom, I know Cuba's out there somewhere, but I can't see it. I thought it was so close. Where is it? She said, wait, it's just this way. It's not this way. It's just across the horizon here. As a matter of fact, it's so close. You little swimmer, you could almost swim there. I said, what? Swim there? But I'll tell you, that phrase, that day, age 9, got lodged in the back of my imagination. That same den where the dictionary was. He's walking around with his hands behind his back. The veins are sticking up in his neck. I said, Dad, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with me? Now you are fanatic. Every day, Christmas Day included. We don't know where you are now eating dinner. You are some crazy place. Where you are. You are not knowing your brother and sister anymore, huh? You are not going to church on Sunday anymore, huh? Darling, your hair, it is green. My hair is green. And you know what, Dad? One day, on the podium at the Olympics of America, you know why, Dad? Unstoppable. They're fanatics. He said, listen. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! He said, listen. Your mother and I, we are talking. We wish you all the luck. Explain for us. This now is the key to the house for you. I didn't know. The team was under the earth. The steel. And finally, the night came, the Olympic Games tryouts, the tryouts for the tryouts, and I have one more 100-meter back that I'm either going on to the Great Olympic Trials or I'm going on to the rest of my life. After 8 years, fourth of the world on my shoulders, I had sacrificed so much. My brother and sister gave up their dreams because mine were so big. My mother sacrificed financially to let me travel all over the United States. And a friend came. She saw that I was in a daze. She shook me and said, what are you thinking about? This is the most important race of your career. Okay, your chances are slim, maybe slim to none, but still, don't you want to leave this race knowing that you gave it everything? That you will have no regrets? I tell you what, why don't you get up there and why don't you blast off those blocks with the shoulders you built? Or eat with the heart that's driven you to do those 1,000 sit-ups every night. None of the rest of us did that. And when you touch that wall, don't look around. Don't look at the scoreboard as to where you finished. I want you to close your eyes, close your fists, and say, and me. I couldn't have done it a fingernail faster. You do it that way, trust me, you'll have no regrets. So now I had a vision. Don't leave this much effort in that pool, and I blasted off with my shoulders and my heart. And when I finished, I had no idea how I did. I closed my eyes. I couldn't have done it a fingernail faster. I didn't make it. I walked over and congratulated the 2 girls who were moving on to the trials. And I walked across the pool deck for the last time that night, moving on to the rest of my life. I put my heavy swim bag down. I I looked up at the stars. They were bright, just like this. And I said to myself these very words: no matter where you go, no matter what you do, for the rest of your life, you live every day so you can't live it a fingernail better. Maybe my father was right, it's extreme. But in my 20s, which were the 1970s, I became one of the best open water swimmers in the world. And how much open water is there? Swim to the Sea of Japan, to the swims off Australia. People are swimming in open water all the time, and I did many of those swims and held records for both men and women, going around Manhattan Island, going across from the Isle of Capri to Naples, Italy, etc., etc. And all those swims, huge for, but they're in this bucket over here. And then Cuba, the best in the world trying, it's in a different category over here. What's going on out there between that Cuba shore and that Florida shore, that the chances are extremely narrow for any swimmer, any young, strong, male, female, fast swimmer to make it across, and many have tried. So picture, if you're looking at the map where you are here, and Havana, Cuba, is down here. Now you're trying to swim 110 miles due north to Key West, Florida up here. It's a very unforgiving landing point. You miss it by a little ways out here, you're in the Gulf of Mexico. You miss it a little ways out here, and you're in the morass of the big Atlantic Ocean. You must reach land. You can't just go to latitude something, longitude something. And now, here's the conundrum. Squeezing through the Yucatan Channel is the emanation of the most powerful current on Mother Earth, the mighty Gulf Stream. And as it comes squeezing through that channel between Cuba and Mexico, it is coming here between Cuba and Florida, 85 miles wide, and it's coming at 6.6 miles an hour, heading due east, so figure out the math. The swimmer is trying to go north at 2.2 miles an hour. The stream is going 6.6, so it's tugging you and tugging you, and that team, that brilliant mathematician, navigator of mine, John Bartlett, on that boat, every 15 minutes, he's setting a new course, trying to get me to go against the stream here, north against the stream here, due west against the stream here, and anytime I have to stop. I'm not allowed to. If the boat is this table here, I'm allowed to get very close, and Bonnie, my head handler, I'm allowed to tread water as she gives me, nutrition, and the team tells me things about shark sightings. Have I mentioned the sharks at all yet? This is important. But they are a protagonist of this story. These are the dangerous sharks of the tropics. These are the oceanic whitetips, the lemons, the tigers, 50, 60 miles offshore. An animal may not have eaten for a week. And when a swimmer, innocent, comes by with a little low-frequency vibration on the surface, from 2.2 miles away, their sonar senses dying, wounded fish. And they are under you in a hurry. And I love when the shark experts tell you that they're very intelligent animals. They do not want to eat Homo sapiens. We are not their food. So they say they won't come up and eat you whole. They won't just take you. Now, if they're hungry enough, yes, they might come up and take a leg. And I said, take a leg? This is a very serious consequence. So anytime I'm stopping for 2 minutes just to take that feeding to get down, or I'm being versed by the crew that there is a shark being spotted and I've got to stay over close to the boat with the legs up for a while. Now, that's following north, I'm getting dragged with the out here, and that 110 miles that was here, out here is 130, and out here is 160, and the whole thing becomes untenable. The box jellyfish emits the most potent venom on planet Earth. There's no animal, no snake, no spider that can kill as rapidly with venom as the box jellyfish. I would rather see a 16-foot shark and have a chance to maybe take a knuckle and punch him in the nose than see a 1-inch square little box jelly. You feel like you're on fire, and I should have died that night, 2011. Tentacles wrapped around the neck, around the biceps, down, all across the back, and somehow I made it through. The medical team on board put oxygen masks on my face, and I continued swimming, but now slow and wounded, and I'm not making progress, getting dragged to the east as I'm trying to swim north. I have a high regard for all of our planet's great adventures. Run across the Kalahari Desert, and maybe especially for me, and you may be the same, maybe you're some climber, the alpine climbers who climb Everest and K2 and Annapurna. I wonder what it's like at the very pure way. And Ed says when he's above 26,000 feet, just a couple of inches, stand there and take at least 25 profound, slow breaths before he has to compose another couple of inches. I know what it's like at the top of the world and oxygen deprivation, but for me, it's something, picture that I'm swimming and breathing 53 times a minute this way. I don't see sharks. I don't see the beautiful pod of 50 dolphins on the boat. Even in a training swim of, let's say, 10 hours, you are now lulled into a state of not able to think concrete thoughts anymore. You are having your childhood wafted off your brain. You're thinking of what you read Stephen Hawking say about the majesty of the universe the night before. And so to keep my mind together, to be able to stay in it and not drift so far away that you forget what you're doing, and keep your strength together to power across that Gulf Stream current, I developed a system of counting, different logarithms of languages, especially my parents' languages, and I developed a series of songs. You're not allowed headphones, against the rules of the sport. Your mind has to be as disciplined as your body. So I'm just singing these songs to myself and to pass the time and to keep myself in the present and remember what I'm doing. So I would take a song. Maybe you know, for instance, Janis Joplin's version of Me and Bobby McGee. Do you know that song? Come on. Everybody know that song? So anyway, it goes like this. I'm out there and I go over to Bonnie and I say, Bonnie, I'm gonna be busy. It's gonna take me about 9 hours. I'm gonna be singing 1,000 versions of Me and Bobby McGee. One word of the nighttime. There might be a moonlight now. Just get through this night. And I'm singing to myself, birds that fly back as my dream. All the way at the end, just like Janis Joplin, la 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 la, hey, 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 Bobby McGee, yeah. I'm going for 1,766. Busted flat. And when I get to 1,000 Me and Bobby McGee's, I'm at 9 hours and 45 minutes. So I'm 28 years old. 1978. We're ready. The team is ready to stream on the type of foods to eat, on keeping myself together and my will together. My team is over here, brilliant and as dedicated as I am. Not one of them ever. We marched down to the beach. The weather is one of the victims from all different directions. From over here, north of South currents that affect this area. From down below, the Dominican Republic also coming up can disturb, you know, the Gulf Stream current and a stir. From way out here in the Atlantic Ocean, you've got the Atlantic Gyre, and it's a pressure system. 2 hours, and if the forecast was great, and that was sitting way up north, not affecting you, in 2 hours later, it could come down to a latitude very low, and now it's affecting this current tremendously, and sure enough, 1978, we had the bad luck. We got the weather call, we started off in a beautifully calm sea. 8 hours later, we were in an 8-foot wave. An 8-foot wave is breaking above these blue lights here. And now, I can see the boat. That's my navigation. If I can't see the boat, I don't know where I'm going. The shark divers can't see fins underwater or above water. It becomes very dangerous. The storms don't stop for the entire 42 hours, and we have to have that conversation, my team and I, while I tread water, and decide that Mother Nature is not going to let us across. Just like when you're on Everest, if a 90-mile-an-hour wind comes in, you don't say, well, this is mind over matter. I'm going to go against it and I'm going to get to the top. No, you're going to get blown off the mountain. You turn around, you go down, and you say, this is not our day. We come back another day. 1979, we come back. And imagine training another full year of 12-hour, 14-hour swims, etc. We come back, and now we can't get a break. The Gulf Stream is flowing hard, and the trade winds coming across the Atlantic are coming across against the Gulf Stream like this, making high peaks out there every day for the summer. Summer's the season you want to do this, when the waters are warm enough for your body to withstand losing all that weight, losing all those calories. And our navigator brings us down to the dock one day, and he says, everybody, you know, tell me what you sense. You know, what do you... We all say, well, it's vapor of the breeze. And he said, no, it's not. Here in Key West and over in Havana, this is what they call Havana, the African dust. This is sand particles of the Sahara Desert that have blown 6,000 miles across the ocean and are now coming. We can't get visas. We can't get into Cuba. No American can enter Cuba, and this is my dream since age 9. I've already swum all over the world. All I care about anymore is this one, Cuba. And people on my team, at the end of practice, all the waters are warm. I say, whoa, Cuba is in my soul, not wrong. So we didn't get to go. Now I'm 30 years old. I'm getting offers from many different television sources and news sources to come work, to make a living. And I left my beautiful Cuba dream behind. And over the next few years, I shouldn't care. I should root other people on. But over the next few years, as I watched swimmers try to make it across, I was never wishing anybody harm, never wishing anybody a shark or a box jellyfish tragedy. But I will admit, when they wouldn't make it, I do a little happy dance. Well, the dream is somehow it's still alive out there. And coming up to the age of 60, that was August 2009, my mom died. And I started thinking, what if I'm going to die? Doing everything I want to do. And then I went searching around my poem I read once. I don't know about you all, but every poem I've ever read, when I get to the end of it, I say, why Mary Oliver? So, 2009, I must have cited the last 2 months. What is it you of yours? I was in my car, I think it was the 1,000th time. I squeezed over the side of the road. I looked in the rearview mirror, I thought, wow, I've stayed in shape. But I haven't been a swimmer for 30 years. Would the shoulders come back? Would the will fire up to what it was before? But I said that day, that's what I'm doing. of mine. I'm going after that big Cuba swing dream. That was the one that was going to make me have to drill down to the physical, to the emotional, to the psychological edge of everything I could be and my team the same way. And we started training for it. It's changed in the world of sports in 30 years. And now, at the age of 60, we tried it, and we failed. Storms raged, even though they weren't predicted. The next year, we try again, making progress and getting dragged. Now we fail a fourth time. Shark scares, jellyfish stings, and again storms that take us off course. And I want to go a fifth time. Because I want to get out. I quit. I bit off more than I can chew. And not one person on the team wanted to leave. They were in it, committed, just like me. So we trained for a fifth time. Noakes, arguably the top sports science in terms of nutrition in the world, University of South Africa. He had helped Bonnie so much in the nutrition. I was having trouble, you know, when you try to digest way, a lot of what you take down goes to your nutrition lying down. Don't get the value of all that. So I wasn't getting all the nutrition, the goos, they weren't getting into my system so that I could use them for muscular contraction. And Timothy Noakes told cooked pasta on the side of the boat before giving me the goos and the gels of proteins and sugar. You know, Bonnie already, there's always a job for us at SeaWorld. Bonnie would give me the pasta and then take the goos and gels, and it worked. I got much more energy from doing it that way with the combination. And Tim Noakes now writes me a Dear John letter. And he says, look, we've been so happy to be part of your team. We followed you with great admiration. And I'm sending you all the empirical notes and equations today that will show you why nobody of any age, any gender, is ever going to make this crossing out of glycogen. You'll be in glycogen over these long 2 to 3 days of nonstop swimming before you can make it to the other shore. And they all dropped out. There was the New York Times, there was CNN, all the media outlets wished me luck and said they would be there on the other shore if I ever made it, but they were out of resources and out of belief that this was, but not our team. I'm trained up. I feel like I can walk through a brick wall. And on the other hand, I'm scared. Will this be a time that you don't get immunized with every sting, you get sensitized. If I have another sting like that, I will die. And more than that, lose my team, and they stick with this dream of mine. It's not their dream. They're giving up time for their families. Will they come back a sixth time if we don't make it again? And I can't Key West, and I go into an all-night consumer in there, and it turns out he's Cuban, and he knows my story, but I asked him his story. You know, they call these waters I swam over the Cuban graveyard. We will never know how many thousands of Cubans have left their country. No chance at all to make it across to freedom in the United States. His 27, it was their night. His family was going to try to get out. I saw this graph that he said he wasn't going to make it past the breakwater on this windy night. He's afraid they're going to die. They've already. The grandmother came down, he told me, and she pulled him off to the side. She said, "Mi querido, I'm not going. This is my country. I'm too old. But listen to me. An American once gave me this $2 bill. They say it means good luck over there. You're gonna zip it in your jacket. It's gonna help you make this terrifying crossing. It's gonna help you make a new life in America, and mi querido, it's possible. No, it's possible that you're gonna see each other again. So this $2 bill is also to help you make a new life in America. And I tell you what, one day, you'll know the day. You'll meet someone who really needs some good luck. And you'll give them this $2 bill. And that night he gave me his grandmother's $2. And I carried it with me. Yep. I carried it with me all the way across the ocean. It's the 5th time. Bonnie and I were standing on the shore of Havana. I play reveille. I take the leap of faith, the real leap. That first day is glorious. I'm singing my songs. We're making fun out of the navigation cabin with his thumbs up all day. He loves the position of the Gulf Stream. He loves the low waves. He loves how strong I am. That night was hell. Wearing a silicone mask to protect face, especially from the jellyfish stings, but it had a very small mouth opening. It was difficult to swim with, but it was necessary. We could have never gone back to try again without that mask. But the wind came up, and every time I take a breath, I get slapped in the face with a wall of salt water. I was vomiting into the mask. They're not allowed to help you. I have to reach with my numb fingertips to find the edge of the mask, get it up, shake it out, get it back on, and continue. And I've lost a lot of weight that night because I couldn't, with the seasickness, I couldn't take in enough calories. The next day, we recuperate. Bonnie starts calling me over to the boat for quicker feedings more often. And that second night was more hellish than the first night if possible. Now I'm cold. While I'm actually swimming, I'm shivering this way. You start into, with the sleep deprivation and the sensory deprivation, you start into hallucinations. I got very engrossed over here with the Taj Mahal. It was floating in the ocean, and I never questioned why it was between Cuba and Florida, instead of India. And I was just amazed by it, and of course, while I'm amazed, I'm being dragged by that current. And Bonnie has learned that you get me out of a hallucination faster if you go along with it than talk me out of it. So she's over here yelling, "Look at those marble pillars. They are extraordinary." You know what? We're going to come back. We're going to visit the Taj Mahal for a whole week. But right now, Diana, come on, put your head down. You've got to swim. Come on, sing your songs. Count your numbers. And a couple hours later, I thought I saw the Cubans. The Cuban graveyard. I thought I saw them marching on the ocean floor. And of course, the ocean floor here is thousands of feet deep. Of course, I can't really see it, but I think I see it. And I yell up to Bonnie, "Look, it's the Cubans, it's the Cuban graveyard." And she looks over, and she says, "See them." I said, "They're little men marching with knapsacks on their shoulders, but you know the good thing about them, Diana? Those are not the Cubans. Those are the 7 dwarfs." And she said, "I tell you what, the great thing about them, they're going exactly where you're going. So just follow them for a while." I can't tell you how helpful they've been. I started getting my stroke going with their strides. And I started singing with them, because I read this way, I could hear them chatting and singing. Oh, and they were whistling. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's all we go. Now I'm hanging on by a thread. I can't remember who I am. I can't Nyad guy over here knows my name, even though I know him for a decade. I know it, it snaps me out of my reverie. I pull up my legs, I get over close to the boat, and Bonnie says, this is important, there's no shark. This is important, look that way, what do you see? I said, come on, Bonnie, I'm blind, I can't see anything. It's black, it's a black ocean, a black sea. I don't see anything. She said, it's crucial. Feather up, tell me what you see. Come on, come on. I feathered up. Wait a second, I do see something. There's a sliver of light, like a filament, right here across the horizon line. Oh, it's the sunrise. It's the third day. You know how we all feel when we see the sunrise. It gives us hope. And Bonnie isn't a crier, but she's starting to cry now. And she said, it's better than the sun. Those are the lights of Key West. Come on, we're gonna make it. Woo! It turns out we had 15 more hours to swim, but we had done hundreds of 15-hour swims. And I'll tell you the truth right here today. When I flash back, this Labor Day, which is just a week away, will be the 12th anniversary of walking up, stumbling up onto that beach. But I don't flash back to that moment of triumph. What I flash back to is our team, staying believers. And all I leave you with, because I know you're successful and many of you are getting awards tonight, and the company in general is one of the best on the entire planet. I congratulate you for the hard work and the successful work you do. But all I can leave you with is what I said in the very beginning. I still want to be that person. I'm not going to swim across oceans anymore, but I want to go to bed every night of my life saying, let me look at that day. Let me look at what I did, what I thought, who I communicated with today. And I want to say, I couldn't have done that. Thank you.
Gather your belongings and exit. Starts at 1:30 p.m. on the book signing stage in the expo. And be back here at 6:30 p.m.